Hey, what's up guys? Sean here. So in last week's video I had a comment that somebody would like to see some bushcraft and some more outdoor cooking. So you guys know I don't do a lot of bushcrafting, I just don't have the area for it, but I do have my traditional camp here set up. So I thought today we would sit down, we would do 3 simple bushcraft projects that you can do. Should be a lot of fun, and if you're good little boys and girls, maybe we'll do some cooking at the end. Let's get it. Okay, so like I said, this is my traditional camp here on my property. So there are neighbors, you may hear some noise from that. I apologize, there's nothing I can really do about that. But the first thing we need to do, if we're going to do any cooking today, is go ahead and get us the fire going so we can get us some coals built up. So first thing we got to do, split us up some kindling. Now that's some good looking fat lighter, look at that. Yeah buddy, that should make some pretty simple fire. Now I know that was a lot of fat lighter to put on there, and I know that when you're out in the bush you shouldn't be wasting resources, but here I have a huge stump of fat lighter and another stump that's still on the ground over there, so I'm really not worried about wasting it. And honestly, I just wanted to get the fire started so I didn't have to worry about it anymore while we were doing these projects. So the fire is going good now. That's something I don't have to worry about. So let's get on to the first project. So one of the first good projects that you should work on when you're in the woods is building a maul or a mallet. And it's a simple project, and you'll be surprised how useful it is and how much you'll actually use it in the woods. So I have cut me just a little piece of wild cherry here. If you follow me in the videos, you know that I have a crap ton of wild cherry that's growing on the property here, and it's a nuisance. It just pops up and you can't get rid of it. So I don't mind cutting down green wild cherry around here because, like I said, it's a problem. So what you're looking for though is something 2.5, 3 inches in diameter, and you want something 12, 14 inches long, something that you could cut down and you could actually do some actual work with. So we're going to trim this thing down to make a good handle on it, and then we're going to leave a good bulky end for weight at the top, and should be a good little project. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to take about 2 hand widths like that, and then I'm going to make me a notch at the top of it here, and we're going to make a cut all the way around this thing. So I'm going to make me just a little mark so I'll know where I need to cut. Now we're going to make a circle all the way around this. If you look here, the blade is roughly half the thickness of the board. So if I go about a half a blade all the way around this thing in depth, that should leave me a good section in the center of it to be about hand width. It should be perfect for that, and it'll still leave it strong enough that it's not going to break off. So that's what we're shooting for. Something about like that. Now we'll go along here with the hatchet and try to break this thing out. Something like that, and then we'll just go all the way around it, and then once we get most of it knocked off of there, we'll come back with a knife and clean it up. Okay, so now that we have pretty much got all of the thicker stuff hogged off of there, we can go ahead back with our knife now and fine tune it. And all we're gonna do is kind of go down through here, smooth it out, get all those rough edges off of it. You don't have to make it perfectly round, because your hand naturally likes those little facets. The little octagon shape fits your hand a little better, so it doesn't have to be perfectly round, but you just kind of want to smooth it out so you're not going to have any splinters or anything like that, and it'll just make it a little easier to use. And you don't have to worry so much about getting all these off at the bottom. You can go around it with the saw or the knife when we're done and clean all that up. Now it's a good idea, if you find a knot like this in here, to go ahead and grab your hatchet and take that back off with your hatchet, because those can be pretty rough on your blade. And if you have a hatchet anyway, no use in tearing up your blade. Now you can go as simple or as fancy as you want with your maul, but remember, it's a blunt instrument. It's a beating tool. So it's going to get some damage, and it's just a tool. So all those marks and stuff that it gets is going to add character, and just shows you're using it. So what I'm going to do is simply chamfer the top edge here, and that way it doesn't go splitting out or anything like that. We can kind of control that a little bit. It softens up that edge some, and so I'll do that to the top, and I'll also do that around here. I may clean up just a little bit on here, but I'm not going to do too much because, like I said, this is going to be a tool, and I'm not worried so much about it being pretty. Now these are great little projects to work on if you're just passing time in camp, and also if you are testing out a new knife, these are great projects to try new skills out with your knife, and just test the knife, see how it feels in your hand. So I'm pretty happy with that right now. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I'll clean up a few of these little knots just so it'll be nice and smooth, and we'll be done. Okay, pretty happy with that. Now let's move on to the next project. So the next project can be as simple or as elaborate as you want. I like to err on the side of simple when it works. So what we're going to do is make a super simple tripod. And this design I learned, whew, that smoke. This design I learned from Felix Emler. So it's super simple, super quick. But one thing I'm going to say is I would, if I were you, go ahead and just spike the ends of these a little bit. And it makes it stick in the ground, and your tripod's not going to try to walk away. Doesn't have to be super sharp. That'll work. Okay, now this is a super simple tripod. Like I said, I learned this from Felix Emler. Now, you got your three tripod poles. You want to get them straight up and down. Now I made a little loop in some tarred mariner's line. We're going to drop that over the top. And you don't want this thing tight. You want it to be fairly loose. Something like that. We're going to go around this thing a couple more times. Something like that. And if you look, I left a little tail hanging off of my first knot. And that's what we're going to tie back to. Like I said, this thing is super simple, super quick to make. Now we're just going to simply tie back to this with a little square knot. Like that. See how loose it is? Now that's important, because what we're going to do now is we're going to take this center leg and we're just going to spin this thing around. As we spin this thing around, it's going to get tight like that. That was a little bit of work, but it's going to get tight like that, and it's going to create a tripod. Now we can pull this thing out, set the legs, you got a good, strong tripod lash there. It's not going anywhere. And we're going to be able to use this to cook with. Okay, so number 3 is simply an adjustable pot hook. So we've got a limb off a tree that has the little hook shape in it. We're gonna lop this off here to make a hook, and then we'll put some notches up and down this limb to make it adjustable. And then here in just a few minutes, we're gonna get us something good on the fire. All right, just that simple. We got us a little hook on here. Now we're gonna go up here ever so often and put us a little notch in here so we can make this thing adjustable up or down. All right, there you have it. So we got the hook, and we got all the little notches down the line there. So that should be plenty of adjustment right there. Plus, if we have to, we can use wraps around the top with the string to make adjustments also. So this is going to work out pretty good. Let's make us a string and see how it looks over the fire. For the bottom end, this is going to be over our hook. I'm going to do just a simple bowline, and I want the bowline to be just bigger than the diameter of the stick. So I'll do a simple little bowline. Want it pulled tight so it's not going to be slipping, but we got us a little bowl in there, and that should slip over, boop, just like that, and hold. See how that works? Slips over and holds. If you need to adjust it, push it down to the next one and grab it. Very, very simple. Now, if this thing starts to teeter on you, you can easily do a half hitch at the top so it grabs it nice and neat. Probably won't need that though. Let's get this thing hung over the fire and see what it looks like. I'm gonna drop this over here. That should work perfect. So if we had to, if we needed more adjustment, you could easily just come up and make another loop around. That way you got adjustment here and adjustment on the bottom. Alright, so now we've got everything set up. We've got the tripod set up, we got the pot hook set up, and I thought today we would do something that we have not done on this channel yet. So today we're going to do some little Cornish hens in my little 8-inch Dutch oven here. So I've got the Dutch oven all oiled up already, and we're going to do it super simple. So I'm going to just put a base of thick sliced onions on the bottom to hold the Cornish hens off of the bottom, keep them from burning. We're going to put a little bit of chicken broth in the bottom of it just to kind of keep it moist and juicy. And then we've got a new seasoning that I've been wanting to try. I just found it today at Lowe's, and I think it's going to be awesome. So let's go ahead and get them seasoned up real quick, and then we'll get everything put together in the Dutch oven. So I'm not gonna lie to you, for the past couple months, I have been fanboying Meat Church on YouTube. So I found the channel, I don't even remember how I found it, just looking for barbecue. And I found Meat Church, and I absolutely love how simple everything is that he does. And he does a lot of smoking and a lot of brisket and a lot of things like that. But everything is super simple. You can cook it however you want to cook it. But he always uses, this is his seasoning, and he has a bunch of different ones. This is the Holy Voodoo. They've got the Holy Gospel, Holy Cow. But I've been wanting to try this one for a while because it's sweet, but it's got a little bit of spice to it. And I found it at Lowe's today. And they've got the whole lineup as far as I can tell. So I'm super excited to try this. And then I think it's going to work really good on these birds. So first thing I want to do is just put a little bit in my hand. See how it tastes. Yeah, that's really good. So it does have a little bit of spice, not super spicy, but a little bit of spice. And let's see, it says it's salt, sugar, brown sugar, spices, including paprika, garlic, jalapenos, onions, you know, your typical barbecue kind of spices. But the paprika is a good addition. You can taste it too. So I think this is going to work really good. Boy, that smoke is getting me. I have picked the perfect place to sit for the wind to blow smoke right on me every time. But let's go ahead and get these birds out of here. And I want to really coat them down real good with this. And then we'll get them all set up in the Dutch oven and get this thing cooking, because this is going to be our dinner tonight, and if I don't tighten up, I'm going to be late for dinner. So let's get this thing seasoned up. All right, I want to really season these things up good. Get some up inside. Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna let that sit for a few minutes and get stuck on there. Then we'll get them added to our Dutch oven and get it on the fire. Okay, so while we're waiting on that to adhere real good, I got the onions down in the bottom of the Dutch oven. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add some chicken broth to the bottom of this Dutch oven here, just enough to kind of come up to the top of those onions. That will help keep the birds moist and give us a little bit of gravy at the end, I think. So that's the idea anyway. I think it ought to work pretty good, and I think it's about time for us to get these birds in here and get them on the fire. All right, now it's going to take a little bit of work to get these birds to fit in here right, because they're a little bit too big. But I think if I'm careful, I can kind of put them side by side in here and make it work. Just like that. And then we can take the rest of the seasoning. Don't want to waste it. And we're just going to kind of sprinkle that in there and let it get all into the broth at the bottom. So I think that'll be good. Now, my wife's going to kill me for getting her towel all dirty. Now, get the lid on here. Yeah, they're a little bit fat for it, but it'll work. Get the lid on here, get this thing hanging from the fire. Here in a little while, we're gonna have us a good dinner. Okay, as you can see, it's a little too high. Let's notch it down. That's pretty close. So I think we'll just let that sit like that for a little while and see how it does. And if we need more heat, we can lower it down with this, or we can always spread the legs out on this tripod a little bit to lower it. So I think we're good right there for now. Let's just let it ride. So now it's just a waiting game. We're just gonna sit here and kind of control the heat on that with our hook going up and down. It was getting a little too hot. I could hear it like really hammering, boiling, and that's not really what I wanted. So I was able to adjust it up one, and I could immediately hear it start to slow down. So I think that's gonna work exactly the way I wanted it to. Now we just got to hang out here, enjoy the fire, and try our best to wait until the food is done. I'm hungry now, so should be really good. I'm looking forward to it. So listen, if you like these kind of videos, if you would like to see more of the bushcraft type stuff, now I'm not going to get out there and chop down a bunch of green wood and build shelters and stuff like that. I'm just not going to do it. I don't think it's proper to do, and obviously I'm not going to run out into the national forest and do that kind of stuff, and I don't have the space here to really do what I would like to do, so I'm not going to be doing that. But if you would like to see smaller little projects like this, more bushcrafty type stuff, let me know in the comments below, and maybe we can figure some of that stuff out. Or if you have some suggestions, definitely drop those in the comments below. We got some really cool videos planned coming up. I've got one especially that I can't wait to do, but that's going to be a little bit of a secret until I can get it done. I'm really looking forward to trying to do that one. And I hope you guys are just enjoying the videos. It looks like you are. I'm getting a lot of shares, a lot of comments, and a lot of likes. Now YouTube has kind of changed some things up, so there is a new way that they're dealing with the how they're promoting the videos. So they're looking at how many likes you get at the beginning of the video as to how much they put the video out or push the video out. So if you guys are liking the videos, it would really help me out. It would help the channel out, and it would help the videos out if you go down there and hit that like button right from the start. If you are liking the video, I'm not going to ask you to just do it because, but if you are liking the video, go hit that like button, because that definitely does help the channel out, and it definitely helps YouTube push the channel out more. So the rules and things are changing, and then YouTube's doing some things a different way, and so we'll just have to learn to deal with it. But that's okay. It's all about the process and learning how it all works. And that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. But if you guys could help me out with that, I'd really appreciate it. Oh yeah, it's looking good. So this thing says it's 180 degrees in the fire for them to be done. So let's just see. Oh yeah, we're done. I am so looking forward to this. It looks and smells so good. Let's see. I know I should wait because it is boiling hot still. Yeah, still really hot. Yeah, I'm gonna have to let it cool a little bit. It's just too hot to mess with. It's still steaming hot, but I can't wait anymore. I gotta try a piece of it. Look at that. So the skin peeled off of it, but that's okay. The skin on top of it got really pretty crispy, but because of the juices and everything that were in it, it almost like steamed or boiled the rest of it, but that's okay. It should be really good. Oh man. Man, that holy voodoo, wow. It's got a little bit of spice to it, but not a bunch. It is so good. Man, I'm gonna have to have me another little piece of this. Look at that. Look at that. Holy mackerel. That is delicious. Perfect. Listen guys, I appreciate the suggestion. This was a lot of fun coming out here. I know I don't do a whole lot of bushcrafty type stuff. I do mostly camping and hiking and stuff like that, but I do like to do little things like this to mix it up a little bit so the channel doesn't get stale. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed doing this. This was really a lot of fun. So if you like this video, give it that thumbs up for me. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you thought about the video. Let me know if you're out here doing this kind of stuff. And as I always say, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you next week.